that's when it kick in and we can go live with this investment series. There it is. All three platforms are up: Facebook, LinkedIn, and you guessed it, YouTube live. Welcome back, guys. Justin R. Harris here with the investments. You guys know what I cover, everything from the market when it comes to stocks, your local investments when it comes to real estate, right? Commercial and residential. Make sure I click that button over there. Get my screen prepared over there. Commercial and residential when it comes with that. And then also we cover the economy when it comes to, now I'm not an economist. I'm not your financial planner. I am licensed real estate, especially and directly with commercial real estate. However, with this topic, you know what the topic is. 2023, the recession, where it's coming. It's coming right now, right? And it's like, all right, so what do we do? This video is time-stamped because when we're in 2023 and this all gets started, I won't be able to say that again because we'll be in it. Funny thing is when we get into the details on this, you're going to understand where I'm headed with this conversation because a lot of people are covering it. However, I think we all have our own spin to it, and that's what we're going to cover here with this. So you guys know what I need you to do: like, subscribe, follow on LinkedIn, follow on Facebook, hit the notification on YouTube, do all that good stuff so we can get right into it. And you guys know how I get started. We're not going to waste any time. So let's just switch screens. Okay, so here's the deal. Right, so we understand it. I got a checklist here because I'm not missing a beat when it comes to this information because it is that detailed. It is a recession, right? No one wants to say it. We're in the fourth quarter, right? What are October, November, December? It's happening, right? They've said it. They said what the criteria was for it. Then they backed out on what the criteria was for it before we could actually call it that. Listen, the elephant's in the room, right? Point that big guy out and just let everybody know the deal is real, all right? There are some studies that show that by time we actually call a recession, we have been already in the recession. And then we're kind of at the teetering point where we're almost done with this. So let's say for whatever reason they finally identify that 2022, January, was the start of the recession. In 2023, they finally say we are in a recession. Let's just say they say it this week, November 2nd. They finally identify and shock the world, right, for whatever reason, which probably won't happen. They'll figure out another way to say, no, it's not, right? Probably will be related to the lagging indication of employment, right, as the final one. But I guarantee you by 2023, there won't be any hiding of that, right? So then you have that to be able to determine whether or not we are in one, right? By the time they say it and we go through 2023, it will have been the point where we are actually on our way out of it. Because if you think that by the end of the first quarter of 2023, that we'll be out of it, you're wrong. You're sadly mistaken. Look at the pace we're going with the small increase by the Federal Reserve when it comes to the funds rate. If we go up another 0.75, which we probably will, right? Okay, look at what has happened. We were at 9, right? 9.2, then we hit 8.5, then we hit 8.26. They said 8.3, it was actually 8.26. Then we hit 8.20, so a solid 8.2. Still here, right? So then we're going to get the report and we're going to find out again this week. And so the question is, how long can they hold the bags on this? Meanwhile, we see the cost of living. It's ridiculous right now. You guys out there buying meat and shopping, it's crazy. You know who's going to kill it during a recession? Grocery stores. They're going to keep making their sales, right? Not sure what their margins are or how hard they're getting hit. I would assume that because the prices are going up, their margin is staying consistent with that. It's not like they're giving you a great deal. But one thing that is unavoidable, and you have to be smart with your shopping, are BOGO deals. Honestly, let's be smart here. Let's look at coupons. Let's pay attention to that stuff because food has spoilage rates. So it can't sit on the shelf endlessly. Be a smart shopper, wait for it, grab it when that deal comes. Shop at the right places and get the deal and stock up on your food. That's going to be the only way. What is really going to be key moving into this time frame is going to be smart shopping. Outside of smart shopping, can we predict the future? No. There's no predicting the future. Here's the deal with this. You can write your future. And by writing your future, here's how you do it. We mentioned the smart shopping. The other thing that you want to do is don't go buy a new car. Don't go buy something brand new, something crazy. Don't do it. Okay. The other thing that you might want to do is start putting some cash aside, right? I'm not saying in a savings account because it's not growing there. We all know that's happening, right? But just be smart and put your money aside because you want to get ready. If you're capable of investing in the market, do it now. What are you doing? This is when you buy. It's low. Even if you bought now, and obviously it's still kind of dropping a little bit, when it gets back to what is considered average, which I can tell you is going to get back to that, you're going to win, right? People wait until it's on its upturn, and then they're like, oh, the market's doing great, time to invest. Yeah, now you're late. Now you're late, buddy. Good job. That's not when you jump in. So pay attention to that when it comes to the market, when it comes to your future. If you want to write your future, that's how you're going to do it. Same thing with real estate. Smart investors, you know what they're doing. They're buying stuff that's failing now. Buy it now while it's failing. Save it because you can afford to, right? And then when things start going in the upturn, that's when you're going to kill it, right? So you're going to buy things at a discount. It's just like a BOGO deal. It's just like shopping with a damn coupon, okay? So you're being smart with that, your purchases and your investments to be able to build and move forward. That is key right now, okay? What other point did I miss? I have my points here. Definitely don't. It's funny because your job, right? One thing, if you are an employee, you cannot confirm that you will still have a job during all of this. Businesses are going to cut back. Jobs will become more competitive. We know that unemployment is the lagging, or employment is the lagging indication because of when businesses report it. It is the month after because of payroll and so forth. So you start to see the numbers fluctuate. Makes sense, right? So taking that into account, you have to understand that it will require more competition at work. You better outshine the person next to you so you keep your job. If you got evaluations coming up or something crazy like that, you might want to get on your grind. You will lose your job. It's common sense right now. There's businesses aren't throwing money out there like that. You're not going to see these hiring bonuses right now, these little scholarship setups for people to come in and work and stuff like that. You're about to see crazy cutbacks. And when these cutbacks happen, that's how it's going to go down. If you're not competitive enough to keep your job, you're out. It's just that simple. If you don't have a strategy right now, you're out. You better be on it or have another plan or another side hustle, something like that, because it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse as we move forward into next year. I'm saying it now, it's October. Some people are like, oh, Justin, you can't predict the future. You're right. I can't predict the future. I tell you what, I'm just a guy of common sense, and some things are not so common, and I'm just going to say, look at facts, look at the historical margins of numbers, and come up with your own answer, right? Because that's all you got. Right? You can sit and guess, or you can sit and wait for someone to tell you, or you can do your own research and find out the hard way, right? That's really the deal when it comes to that. Now, moving forward, let's talk about that for a second. Let's look at interest rates for a second. With interest rates, right, you understand what's happening when the Federal Reserve starts upping the federal funds rate. This is the cost of business for banks and lenders to do business, right? So if that happens, not if, when that happens, when those numbers come up, what are you going to do? If you were planning to purchase, you better do it now. Don't sit and wait. Don't sit on your hands. If you got to get out of wherever you are and you got to make a purchase, go make the purchase. If you can't afford to, buckle down, renew your lease, and do it soon. Lock your landlord into whatever rate that you want to lock them into now. Confirm it somehow. Sign a new lease before they decide when they want to renew that lease that you can't afford to because the new number that they give you, it's just way out of your budget. You just can't do it, right? So don't get set up for that. I do have a video I wanted to go and jump over to show you guys what some of these things we're looking like right now. Here it is. So first one I wanted to get into, what do we got here? We are looking at 30-year fixed Freddie Mac. Oh my God. Look at these numbers. 2022. You see the jump. You look back all the way to 2018 when the rates were 4.8, 4.7, year to date right now, 4.83, right? That's not, we're not gonna see that for a while. Not gonna see it for a while. October is blank. You're gonna see a number like 6.5, 6.8, something like that right here. November and December, I guarantee you, at least by December, you're gonna see a high 7, if not like a 7.2, something like that is gonna float over here on this, all right? Don't be surprised. It's definitely gonna happen, and you gotta be ready. You know, these numbers are not gonna get smaller anytime soon. Like I said, quantitative tightening, the cost of doing business, the Federal Reserve is raising that number, so banks are going to be like, hey, I can't give you a discount. No, there isn't that. If they give you a discount and it's some sort of ridiculous, like, wow, something you can't pass up, you probably shouldn't do it. Just my advice. I would just hold off at that point, put your money aside, maybe put it into another type of investment, maybe find a good ETF or a REIT or something, a dividend, and let it mature there. You're going to get taxed on it anyway. You would have got taxed when you made your purchase on your home anyway. So put it into something, let it grow there, and then wait a year if you're going to wait it out. You're either going to do it or you're not, right? Otherwise, really, just don't get caught up in the nonsense because you're going to get murdered. Murdered. And then, okay, so then we look at inflation rates. I got to show you guys this. You know, a lot of people weren't understanding that whole breakdown. Where's my screen here? Bam! There it is. Inflation rates historically crazy numbers. October, you know where this is going to be. I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you, we're not going to drop below 8. That's not going to be below 8. This indication right here, if we started back in August, was it August? When did we start doing this? I think it was August. No, it might have been July when they decide, hey, we're going to do quantitative tightening, right? So then when that happened and we started seeing these small drops right here, what makes you think October is going to be below 8? If October shows, let's just say 7.9 for whatever reason, if it shows 7.9, then there's a possibility that by this time next year, we will have cleared and been somewhere around 5%. That's not out of the clear. That's guessing, wildly guessing. I'm not an economist, but I can look at this and tell you that, look at the last time we were at 5. September last year. Because we were already dying. What was that? September last year was like the 5th or 4th freaking, what is it? Stimulus check, PPP, and EIDL, all this free money just going everywhere and inflation just flying right now and our dollar just being reprinted like there's no tomorrow. Come on, really? Seriously? So then you look at that, all right, if we were to go back, all the way back, before we started hitting these crazy numbers, you're talking about February 2021, 1.6. February, 1.6. You think we're just going to drop back to that number? It takes a long time. It takes a long time. And just so you guys understand historically how far back it goes, and I don't think I have it here on this screen, but I'm going to jump all the way back to Whoa. The last time we were at 5. Guys, hold on to your seats. 1991. January 1991. And it took a year for it to go from 5.6 to 2.6 inflation. It took 1 year to move 2 points. So whatever happened there, I can't dig in on that. I can't tell you guys that. I'm not that guy for that. I'm just sitting here and I'm just telling you the numbers that I'm seeing right here on the spot, and it's not pretty. Okay, guys, so do what you can when you can control it, the way that it needs to be controlled. Looking at my notes here, you know the Federal Reserve is coming up on November 2nd, all right? Borrowing, I promise you, is going to hit 8%. Not that I have any control with that, but this is my wild guess. 8%, for sure. Homes will slow down. Home sales will slow. Yes, guaranteed. Home sales will slow. And those who have to sell, they're just going to. They're going to come down. They need to compete to get the property sold. Those that can buy, they will buy. Here's a scary thing. They're changing the credit rating system. If you change the credit rating system, you have more borrowers out there. That's great. That's great for the lender, right? Here's the problem with that. I think there's an ethical problem there, because we've lowered the standard, or they say adjust the standard. I'm saying lowering the standard so that more people can get approved. That's a very questionable borrowing situation. And I don't know what lenders are going to be on board with that just because the score comes down. I have a feeling that because the score comes down, you're going to have an adjustment when it comes to how you qualify for that mortgage. Yeah, your credit system might be slightly different, but the mortgage is going to have more obstacles at that point. So not quite sure that's the way we should go with that whole system, but hey. And then, you know, they're going to want to say, and they're going to throw in a stat in there, that the sales are slowing down for this time of year. The sales slow down every year this time of year. We're coming into the holidays. Less people are buying a home. More people are concerned with traveling and doing the family thing. You want to see if things are not doing well. Pay attention to the Airbnb market and the seasonal market to see if people are still traveling to go to those places. Watch the hotel sales and reservations to see if people are still doing those things. And if they are, then there's an indication that it's not as bad, right? But let's see how long the tail wags the dog in this kind of situation right here, right? So, hey guys, just pay attention, buckle in, because this week is going to be some crazy news. And let's sum it all up next Sunday. I'll see you guys. Take it easy.